Hey guys, what's up? It's Telle,
It's Tony.
and you're watching PitCam.tv.
Hi, I'm Monica with PitCam, and I'm here with Tony and Telle from The Word Alive. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, how are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful.
So this is your first European tour as a headliner. What's it been so far?
It's been awesome. I think most of the shows have been better than we anticipated that they would be. Obviously we played some places that we've never been before, but it's good to play places and hopefully spread our name out around here in Europe. But we've had a great time.
Cool. So I thought we would do it a bit different today. I wanted to ask you just a lot of random questions about your favorite stuff.
All right.
So we'll start with if you had to recommend one city to a good friend, which one would that be? What's your favorite city?
Favorite city? My favorite city so far has probably been, I don't know, Paris. I know it's kind of cliche to say, but
That's okay.
we played on a boat, which is really cool, and right near the Eiffel Tower. So if you want to be a tourist, you can just go on the subway like 10 minutes and see the Eiffel Tower, and the kids are really cool there too. So
you got a chance to see a bit of the city?
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I went and saw the Eiffel Tower, and I actually went and saw the catacombs with a few friends, and it was definitely the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So kind of crazy when you're walking around there and there's just like millions of dead bodies there. So it's kind of crazy to think that you're just walking around like underground Paris and there's all this underneath the city. So it's that city definitely is really cool.
What's your favorite childhood memory?
Ooh, childhood memory. That's a good question.
Or the
Do
one
you
that
know one
stands
off the
out
top of
the
your
most?
head?
I definitely do. Mine is it's actually the first memory that I think that I have. I don't know the exact order, but I remember being really, really, really young, like 4 maybe, and sitting on my dad's lap, watching Monday Night Football, eating out of a huge bowl of popcorn, and that was like a family tradition for a long time where we would get together and watch football. I know that's not very big out here, but football was a huge part of my family and just growing up, and even now like it's something that connects my family. So that was my first great memory. I mean, obviously there's tons, but that's one that always has stood out.
Probably would be every summer, me and my family would go out to Six Flags, which is like a amusement park, roller coasters and stuff like that, and it was always a good time. All my little cousins would go with us, like the whole family, my uncles, who would torture the hell out of me before every ride because I hated like roller coasters when I was younger. So they'd be like, "Oh, the roller coaster's gonna break, the bolts are loose." Like, so I was always like, "Oh, I'm excited," but I know my uncles are gonna fuck this up for me. But no, that's a really great memory of mine.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. What's your favorite theme park ride?
Oh, I don't know, honestly. I haven't been to Cedar Point yet, and everyone's telling me that's like the spot. So as of now, like, I don't know, like there's a few rides that we went to actually on this last tour we just did in Orlando Studios. What was that roller coaster we did with the
music?
With the music, that one's pretty cool.
I can't remember the name of it. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but there's this ride there that you can pick music while you do the roller coaster,
cool.
and like they give you a few selections, and there's like Rollin' by Limp Bizkit is a really, really good one. What's one of
Kickstart My Heart.
Kickstart My Heart, yeah.
Motley Crue.
So like it's like music like that.
Pump
That's like
you up.
perfect for the roller coaster. So that too for me is one of my favorites. I have been to Cedar Point in Ohio because that's where I grew up. And there's like the dragster there goes insanely fast. And Superman,
Millennium or
and
something? Everyone talks about Millennium.
there's just so many But yeah, I love roller coasters. I think they're awesome.
Not scary.
Sometimes it can be, but it's all in good fun. I do remember when the Son of Beast came out at what used to be called Paramount's Kings Island in like Cincinnati, Ohio, around that area. One time I was on and the bar just kept clicking down like more and more, and it was like I couldn't breathe. And that was the only time where I've been like super scared, and it was like it just kept squishing into me, and I was like, by the time I got off the roller coaster, I was like in tears. I was like, "Get me out of this thing!" But that's the only bad, really.
But still, you did it again.
Oh yeah,
Second time.
yeah, I've done it before many times since then.
Cool. So, your favorite superhero?
I didn't really have a superhero growing up. I was like obsessed with Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
So Ninja Turtles was my jam. Like watched any like home movies of me when I was little, I'll freak out with Ninja Turtles. So I'm just gonna say that.
Do you still know all the names?
Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael. Oh, what's the last? Oh, Leonardo. Yeah. Splinter, Shredder. We go for days. What was the dude with the hockey mask?
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, dude.
Yeah. Casey Jones. Oh yeah, I was huge into Ninja Turtles too.
Oh yeah.
I think most of my friends were actually, but like even today, I think the one that I like the most is probably Batman. Just because he like didn't have any superpowers, he was just a badass who, like, decided that he was gonna use all his ninja skills and all that to do good. And even like now the new movies like with Christian Bale, I think how it portrays like a dark side of like the superhero kind of thing. Like I think that's really cool. And so I'd have to say Batman.
Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
Yes, I have. It looks badass. It looks badass. So does actually the new Spider-Man. Looks really awesome too, because it looks like it's gonna be a little bit darker. I like. You know, I don't like the superhero movies that are like all bright and like cartoony. It's like, it's, you know, it's supposed to be an adaptation from the comic books, which are actually pretty, you know, gnarly, most of them. So when I would always see like them and they'd be like PG or whatever, it didn't really make sense because it wasn't anything like, you know, how brutal it is. Like Batman, like, Superman has his back broke, you know, in the comics and stuff, or Batman does, and it's like pretty gnarly, you know. If you're in a fight and someone breaks your back, like that's not, you know, just a few punches or anything. So I like how dark the superhero movies are getting nowadays.
So, the best book you've ever read? Are you readers?
I'm actually sadly not a reader. This is, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I actually read a book, which is really sad. I've always been a fan of Holes. It's just like back in elementary school. No, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really read a good book actually in a while, so probably not the right person to ask.
I don't read very much by any means. I'm more of a visual person. I like watching movies a lot. I watch movies constantly when I'm home. I know Tony watches a lot of movies too. The last book I read, just completely straight through, was The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Chuck Palahniuk, and that book was really, really awesome. Kind of messed up and a little twisted, but it was really good. I like books like that it has something to keep you like reading about. A lot of books that you read in school, I feel like you just kind of like go through the motion and you don't really retain a lot because there's nothing really that stands out a whole lot. But there's definitely a lot of books out there I think everyone should read, and I probably should do a lot more reading myself.
I definitely do.
But maybe soon I'll start reading again.
So what are your favorite movies?
Ooh.
All-time favorite movie?
Rocky.
Really?
I can vouch for him. He loves the movie Rocky.
My jam.
How many times have you watched it?
Too many. Too many times. Not enough times.
Never enough.
No, just me and one of my best friends, Nick. Every time I'm home, it's just like, all right, dude, designated Rocky day. Coming over, watching all the Rockies. Even the new one, Rocky Balboa, is pretty good. But yeah, definitely Rocky.
Cool.
My girlfriend just bought a Rocky Balboa T-shirt the other day just for me, so I like it. It's like my favorite movie for sure.
What about you?
I mean, I watch a lot of movies, so it's hard to say what my favorite is. I like the movie Seven. I like The Departed. I like drama and thriller movies. But I also like comedy and horror. Like Halloween's my favorite like horror series. And then comedy stuff. On the last tour, we watched Talladega Nights probably 40 times.
Every day.
Anything with Will Ferrell in it is
John
hilarious. Yeah, like all those guys. So any movie with a ton of one-liners in it that all your friends like keep repeating, like it's probably a really good movie, and it's probably a movie that both Tony and I and our band as a whole like. We definitely like a lot of comedies.
What about TV shows? There's a lot of good TV shows.
TV shows, definitely. Breaking Bad is one of the best fucking shows of all time. I love that show. I love Californication. There's another one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. And a guilty pleasure is Friday Night Lights. The football. Yeah, the football one. I mean, it's just that's my childhood, like, love football, so, yeah.
I really like a few, I don't know, I guess I love The Office. That's probably one of my favorite TV shows. I love Food Network.
Okay.
I'll just watch Food Network. I like Trading Spouses. I just love that. Hoarders. I don't know, I'm into like the reality, the reality shows. I don't know. Those are kind of TV shows I'm really into.
Huh. Not bad. Well, for something else, your favorite boy band, or the least bad one, if you want to put it like that.
Hey, we've been known to jam some NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Really?
We don't discriminate.
Yeah, that's a hard. You know what? That's a hard question. Too many.
O-Town is not one. We don't back
know
O-Town. I can't even remember their big song.
I want to say Backstreet Boys because they were like they were the harder.
Back.
They were like the hard
They're the bad
boy band. The bad boys. They were like the bad boys. They're like dark, like. I feel like they had more street cred than NSYNC. NSYNC was a total boy band.
How do you feel about this big comeback with New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys going on tour together?
I didn't even know that. So
You didn't know?
My mind's blown.
I heard about it, but at least in the States, it's not like a big thing.
Maybe it's a European thing.
It might be. I mean, Backstreet Boys. I mean, it's cool. Not cool, but it's kind of funny to play back. New Kids on the Block was not really our generation, so.
I'm a bit older than you guys.
None of my friends, I think, really care about that one. But Backstreet Boys, I'm sure I have a few friends who would probably pay to go to that show.
I probably would. Guilty pleasure.
Your favorite animal? Are you animal people?
I like dogs.
Yeah.
You like
I love
dogs?
dogs. I love any kind of dog.
My French bulldog, Colby, back home, is my favorite animal on the planet.
How old is he?
She is, she has a boy's name, I guess. We named her after Cheese, but apparently Cheese is not a unisex name. She is a little over a year, like a year and 2 months, or March, April, May, a year and 3 months old.
Cool. How's she behaving?
She's always good. She's always good. Keeps my girlfriend from being lonely back home. She's like a human being. Like she sits like a human.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, like she's like a human. So she's
she
awesome.
Farts.
Yeah, she does fart.
They do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just puts out those little ones all the time. It's so funny.
Okay. Well, are you guys into art? What's your favorite art form? Besides from music?
Like an actual visual art?
No,
or
anything.
Oh, anything art related.
Yes.
That's a good question. I mean, tattoos? Yeah.
You like tattoos?
I like tattoos, I guess. Yeah. I have a couple.
Yours are pretty cool.
Thank you. This is done by Jason Luzell in Phoenix, Arizona. Still working on it, but it's getting there. And I got one on my leg that's been done by Brent Atwood from Ogden, Utah.
Cool. You got a new one too, since I last saw you.
Yeah, I got a few stuff. Yeah, we're working on getting covered slowly but surely. And mine's done by Britton Reese. He's out of MD Tattoo Studios in Northridge, California. Yeah, he's awesome. He actually just won Best Ink on the Oxygen channel, which I don't know if the Oxygen channel is in Europe, but it's pretty big in the States. So, yeah, I love tattoo art. There's an artist who I'm drawing a blank right now on his work, but anyone who knows it, it's like really colorful and crazy. He has like pictures with like throat slit, but it's like
the dude who did the Used album, I think.
He did Donnie Darko,
and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know the name.
It's I can't remember the name, but anybody who's watching this who knows who I'm talking about, feel free to comment and let us know who it is. But yeah, just crazy, really, really eye-popping artwork. He did Donnie Darko's.
So you like surreal stuff?
Yeah, like just crazy, weird things. Like I like a lot of weird colors and stuff like that. So.
I like traditional style, like tattoos at least, or neo-traditional is cool. Sorry. I don't know which one to talk into. Nah. Yeah.
Your best live experience, in the audience.
Of us
playing?
Being,
no,
a fan?
Being in the audience, a fan.
As a fan.
Yeah.
Oh, as a fan, when my live, there's too many. I don't know. I guess it depends. It changed. It changed like growing up. When I was younger, when I saw, was like the first hardcore show I ever seen, or metalcore, whatever show, was like with Dead Poetic, Norma Jean, Haste the Day, and Under Oath was supposed to be on it, but it was right when Spencer, when Dallas quit and Spencer joined. So like they were going through all that thing. So I was like, oh damn. I was like bummed to see that, but we actually got to play with them on a tour, which was probably even better.
Yeah.
But that Under Oath, every time I've seen Under Oath play, I always get chills. Finch, when I saw Finch when I was really young, they did a reunion tour. I was really pumped on. I don't know, there's too many. My first concert I went to was actually Incubus with my sister. And I was like, I think I was like 10 years old, 11 years old or something, so that was really cool.
My favorite, I've had a lot that I really, really, really enjoyed, but my favorite, and actually the one that's like what made me want to be like a frontman, like, and not that long ago actually, 2005, the Curiosa Festival tour in the States. It was like The Cure, Mogwai, Muse, Thursday, just a bunch of bands, the great bands. I went and I was in the crowd watching Thursday play, and Jeff Rickley crawled out over top of the crowd, and it's actually the reason I do that a lot of nights. And he like stopped right above me, and like everyone was like ripping his shirt off, and he's just singing and screaming into every kid's face, like, and I was like, I want that feeling one day, and that changed my life, watching that show. So that's definitely gonna always be something I'll always remember. My first show was actually Blondie and Pat Benatar, and that was pretty cool watching that. I didn't even really truly understand how awesome that show was until like I was older, but that was a really fun one. And just, when you're in a band, like Tony said, like we played with Under Oath, they were a band that, we all loved and influenced by, and they're great dudes. And so like those things, like where now it's like kind of turn, the page, and we're starting to play with some of the bands that like influence us or meant a lot to us. I think it's cool to watch them, like, and because a lot of times when you're on tour and you watch other bands, you watch things and you see the imperfections, or you see like, oh, I would have done that, or I would have done that. But like the bands that you just sit and it sucks that out of you, and all you are as a fan, like those are the best bands and the best shows, and where you just are into it. Like we played Slam Dunk Fest just last week and watched Taking Back Sunday, and it was just awesome. Like, I felt like a teenager, like, watching them all over again. So little things like that are really cool.
Your new album, Life Cycles, is going to be out in about a month. How would you describe it?
It's I think it's a little bit more mature compared to our last album, but it still has the same kind of elements in it. As a whole, I think it's a better CD. It's a lot more in your face. There's moments where it's like the heaviest it's ever been, and there's moments where it's just been like the most melodic. So I don't know. There's a lot of different elements on the CD, and a lot of people, I think, have been like curious about the whole keyboard elements and stuff like that, worrying about that. And me and Zach and Joey, we all work together, and we feel like it's gonna be up to par. So I'm really excited to release it. It has a lot of different styles of music, but it's still like the Word Alive. It's still the Word Alive, but it's just like a super version of it.
I think, like, there's 13 songs on the album, and every single song sounds different to me. And I think being a band and being able to continuously, like, write different sounding songs, but they all still sound like your band, like, I think that's a really hard thing to do, and I give Tony and Zach a lot of props for being able to come up with so many different sounding songs. I know, as a musician, myself, like, there's no way that I could ever in my lifetime, like, come up with some of the stuff that they have. So just musically, I know everyone's going to be really stoked, and vocally, I tried to work really hard and make sure that I could keep up with these guys. So I think this record is like the first record where we kind of are really showing that our band can really break the mold, and we're not just tied to one particular sound. And hopefully it can only help our fans to be a little bit more open-minded too when they're listening to other bands and be like, wow, that song kind of sounds like this band, or that song sounds like them, and hopefully it'll open the eyes and minds of our fans to other music too.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Of course.
Got anything you want to say to your German fans?
Thank you so much for coming out. Our first headlining tour ever has been amazing, especially in Germany. The last few nights have been some of the most fun we've had as a band. So thank you very much, and we will see you in the fall.
Pick up Live Cycles July 3rd. Boom.
Boom.
Thanks.